India's top court rejects same-sex marriage. In a significant yet divisive ruling, India's Supreme Court chose not to legalize same-sex marriage, leaving the issue to Parliament's discretion. Chief Justice ooh, Dhananjaya Yeshwant Chandrachud, that's difficult, noted, quote, the exercise of the powers of judicial review must steer clear of matters, particularly those impinging on policy, which fall into the legislative domain. Well, the court's decision allowing LGBT individuals to have, while the court's decision allows LGBT individuals to have relationships without legal penalties, it stops short of granting them legal recognition, such as inheritance, succession, and hospital visitation rights. Amidst a backdrop of social conservatism, the ruling has ignited debates and left many questioning the future of LGBT rights in India. However, a silver lining exists in the court as the court supported a government initiative to consider extending certain rights to same sex couples. Um, so, this on our channel, we've actually been following the status of the fight for marriage equality in India for a very long time. And there's been many delays, and it's been going back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And finally, the Supreme Court came forward with this ruling. And basically, they decided that this is not a matter that they should decide in the court. They thought this is a matter that should be decided in the legislative field, meaning through parliament, through the democratic process, so to speak. And I would love to hear feedback from our audience in India, what they think about this. Um, because most people, or most of the analysis that I've read, basically just cites people saying, oh, well, this should go through the legislative process as part of the influence of conservatisms, and particularly Hindu nationalists, um, influencing the court. And it was really funny to me because a lot of BJP supporters say that the BJP is like very LGBT friendly and all this stuff and actually pushes for LGBT rights. But in the article, there was someone who was BJP affiliated. I can't remember exactly their position, basically very loudly being like, oh, yeah, this goes against the Indian construction of family being a man, woman, and child. So I'm like, well, which is it? Which is it? A lot of these BJP supporters like try to have it both ways. Which is it? Um, and one thing that I thought was interesting was I need to find the exact quote. So this is definitely a setback in many ways. We didn't achieve obviously the result that people are looking for. However, I need to find exactly what it was, but there was some progress in the sense that there were certain things that the court did guarantee to LGBT people and couples. So it wasn't the overwhelming victory that we would have wanted, but there is some progress that was made. Um, yeah, for example, one justice said that the state should provide some legal protections to same sex couples, arguing that denying them, quote, benefits and services granted to heterosexual couples violates their fundamental rights. Choosing a life partner is an integral part of choosing one's course of life, he said. Some may regard this as the most important decision in their life. This right goes to the root of the right to life and liberty under Article 21 of India's constitution. The justices also stated that the government should take steps to ensure that LGBT people do not face discrimination, including establishing hotlines and safe houses for those who are vulnerable and in need of medical procedures that aim to change gender identity or sexual orientation. So referring to like conversion therapies. Um, so it is good to see the courts take a strong stance and understanding of that. Um, uh, Armin, do you have any initial reactions to this?
I just want to read this. Hex is saying, I'm from India and I think it's a travesty. This wouldn't be in court if it could have been solved through legislative. Okay. And if people in India, I want to see more people from India explaining to us what they, especially LGBT people from India, explaining to us what they think about this in the live chat.
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot of some lawyers and pundits are saying that the court has failed its duty to uphold the constitutional rights of LGBT people in India. Um, and this is the problem. And I think that person you just highlighted is right, that
Mm.
if this is to be solved through the legislature, it's going to be a long time before we see that
Hmm.
progress. Um, at the same time, and this is I'm fully aware that this is an American mindset, and this is just purely coming from the experience informed to me by my own country, but we've seen the consequences of some of these decisions and rights that we now cherish being afforded to us by the Supreme Court and not through legislation, um, because then they can just be ripped away from us. For example, Roe v. Wade. It was easy to destroy that because the Democrats failed. They got lazy and failed to do enough to push it through Congress. Right. So part of me is like, and again, I don't, the Indian legal system is complicated. So I know that there's probably a lot that I'm not aware of. But given that recent event, part of me is like, well, there might actually be way stronger protections for this if this was to occur through the legislature. Um, but I could be completely wrong, and I'm willing to admit that. It's just a thought I had.
Homo sapien is saying India isn't against gay couples being together. This is to do with marriage, but it's interesting how many news channels make it appear otherwise. Well, I mean, the news channels are saying marriage, and it's important for people to be able to get married because marriage gives you a lot of legal rights that is available to straight couples that is now not available to gay couples. So, I mean, if that right, if all of that if that option is available to straight couples, it should be available to to gay couples as well. So I don't
Oh,
know. I mean,
100%. Because this
yeah,
is like rights of kinship, rights
yeah,
of in the situation of medical emergency. This is
yeah,
rights in the case of inheritance.
hmm,
These are very, very important issues. Pension,
yeah,
spousal benefits. It really extends throughout society.
yeah.
Yeah, Miriam, the
Mariam's
lawyer, is saying marriage gives you thousands of legal rights. Exactly.
There you go. We have a lawyer in the house. Okay, and Homo sapien is saying, I agree. It is important to allow marriage. I'm just saying channels like Al Jazeera's are appealing to its homophobic audience. To its
Al Jazeera
homophobic
English is very
audience.
different. Have you seen what AJ Plus is like? AJ Plus is like the most insane progressive LGBT thing ever. It's not yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Al Jazeera English is not like Al Jazeera Arabic. I mean, it's still
Mm-mm.
biased, but not as biased. Yeah. Uh, okay, Brother Sid is in the live chat. I just wanted to show you guys how important it is to defend LGBT people because Sid is showing us how much homophobia and disgusting views exist. Brother Sid is saying, I'm not Indian, but I think you all are psychopaths for endorsing such a disgusting, dangerous lifestyle. Well, I thank you, Brother Sid, for showing us how important it is for us to come together and protect gay people and other LGBT members from hateful people like you from discussing viewpoints like yours.
Mhm.
Um,
Here's the
yeah,
thing, people don't understand that some people defend LGBT rights because they're LGBT. But as liberals, this is not defending LGBT rights for the sake of them being LGBT. It's about the defense of the individual against the tyranny of the majority. It goes back to a much bigger principle.
mm,
And you clearly have a very tyrannical worldview.
right.
And individuals do not deserve to have that dictated upon them because of your religious beliefs. We should live in a secular state. And in a secular state, that has no business dictating the legal rights of any random individual. Miriam is saying, right, Susanna, exactly. Thank you, wifey. She gets me.
Wifey. Wife.
I'm just
Well,
gonna
we got two
I'm just
super
gonna
chats.
call Miriam Zaneman.
All right, we have two super chats. Do you want to read this?
Oh, Gage American is saying hashtag free love. Stop this blasphemy to Kamadev. Quick Google, what is Kamadev? Kamadev. This has got to be some sort of Devi. Kamadev, also known as blah blah blah, is the Hindu god of erotic love, desire, and pleasure. Ooh.
No.
Ooh, you're right,
We need to
Gaijin.
make
This is blasphemy to Kamadev. And also, I don't know how I
Mm.
didn't know about this god, and this is going to be the inspiration for some blasphemous art. I already see it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, it rides a bird. It rides a bird?
Like a little green parakeet.
That is such a weird mount to have, but I like it.
The god of
That's
divine love.
and it rides it's a green parrot. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this is cooler. Okay.
I like him.
Weird flex, but okay.
And he's got
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got more.
Newman is saying, I agree with Susanna, but also I like cat boys. I'm not sure how one follows the other. But cool.
No, I think about girls being prettier than boys and stuff. Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well that's the kind of boys you're attracted to. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. More power to you. Femboys deserve love too. Asian American gave another super chat saying the entity Ila changes their gender depending on the phase of the moon. Wow.
Mm.
That's quite
Okay.
intense.
So guys, changing genders, is that gender bending? Can we call that gender bending?
Hell yeah.
Gender. Okay, so this has been historically, like, we have ancient stories about this. People act like people changing their genders and stuff is a new thing, but we have in so many mythologies, and it seemed like people were constantly, this was part of culture all the time. Like, people
Oh,
must have done
yeah.
it.
I mean, how many
Yeah.
Shakespearean stories are literally about gender bending?
Yes.
Gender bending is one of the most
I mean,
popular categories of manga. Like,
I mean, the symbol of masculinity in Greek mythology, which is Zeus. Okay, Zeus and Hercules. Zeus wore women clothing at one point to trick his dad. Okay, and Hercules wore women clothing because his wife wanted him to do that, because his wife liked that. So this is like, so don't think like this is just a new progressive thing that is happening right now. The symbols of masculinity in history were also gender bending at some point in their life. Yeah.
and Asian American
People
is
saying that's cross. People saying that's cross dressing. I know. Okay, I'm not. I know I'm not using my terms precisely, but back then, it wasn't. The lines between these things were kind of gray. It's not like as well defined as right now.
cross-dressing is a form of gender bending.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Asian American also gave another super chat saying that Kamadev strings a sugarcane bow with bees. So his arrow is like sugarcane with bees. Yo. I mean, that's way better than Cupid's love arrows. Think about it. That sticky trap. Ooh.
We need to have a scene between Kamadev and Cupid. How about that? I mean, Cupid is an adult, by the way, guys. Guys, Cupid is not the one that they show you as a baby, okay? I'm not talking about that. Cupid in the stories is an adult man, okay? But we could mix them
Cupid
together.
does become an adult man.
Yes, but
Cupid
most of the stories with the arrow. Yes, no, most of the stories with Cupid in ancient in Greek mythology is him with an adult, like he's an adult man with a bow and arrow. Like, I don't know what that is, something else that they're selling as Cupid. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.